Hello everyone, my name is Vaibhav Lalit and I am a student of Faculty of Law. I hope you all are doing good. So, last time we have started with the CRPC and we have left our talk on about the adversarial and inquisitorial system. Why we always talk about shifting ourselves towards the inquisitorial system? बेसिकली ऐसे क्या बेनिफिट्स हैं इंक्विजिटोरियल सिस्टम में जो कि एडवर्सरियल सिस्टम में नहीं है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हैव अ लुक दैट व्हाट इज एडवर्सरियल सिस्टम. In this system, judges plays a passive role like an umpire, or you can say like a referee in a match. Uh, no duty on judges to discover the truth and evidences. Roles of party to develop the evidence. Basically, in this system, the judges act like as a neutral person. ना ही वो इन्वेस्टिगेशंस के अंदर पार्टिसिपेट करता, ना ही वो एक्यूज के क्वेश्चंस को रेज करता टू द कोर्ट प्रोसीडिंग्स. राइट. Basically he just sits and watch the proceedings and just play a neutral role. The main point on in this system is that the accused is presumed innocent until proven guilty. So इस सिस्टम में अगर accused को जो है वो innocent माना जाता है, like until he has to proven guilty, right? So, and the burden of proof is on the prosecution, which the prosecution has to prove beyond the reasonable doubt. The system is heavily lauded in the favor of the accused. Obviously, that this system is totally in the favor of the accused. It's a accused generic system, and because basically what happened, the prosecution has to prove this case beyond the reasonable doubt, and the accused has to just raise a simple and a, you can say, normal doubt, a one single doubt. If he raises in his case, that is sufficient, right? So that's why. Now, what is inquisitorial system? In this system, judges plays an active role. Basically this is the totally, you can say, बिल्कुल ही opposite है. Judges यहाँ पे एक्टिव रोल प्ले करते हैं, लाइक वहाँ पे पैसिव रोल प्ले कर रहे थे. इन दिस सिस्टम जजेस सॉरी डू इन्वेस्टिगेशन into the offenses, like they just quest for the truth, they discover the truth, and in that system they don't even get into the investigation and all, right? In this system, roles of parties is to just to suggest the questions, right? And judges themselves, they ask questions to the accused in the court, they just themselves try to get into the investigation, they raise the questions. One of the most important thing in this system is that the standard of proof. In this system, the standard of proof is on the basis of proportionality, not beyond the reasonable doubt. Basically इस सिस्टम में जो जज है, दे ही जस्ट सी, यहाँ पे बैलेंसिंग होती है, लाइक यू कैन से किस जिसका प्रोडक्ट ज़्यादा भारी है, या हाँ, यहाँ पे बैलेंसिंग होती है. द प्रोसिक्यूशन हैज़ नॉट टू प्रूव इस केस बियॉन्ड द रीजनेबल डाउट, राइट? या सो there is one question which always get raised in this adversarial system, that judges don't have any power. They are like the mere spectators. सी ऐसा नहीं है. इंक्विजिटोरियल सिस्टम में ही जजेस के पास पावर है, एंड दैट एडवर्सरियल सिस्टम में दे डोंट हैव एनी पावर. नहीं, ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. बस वो कहते हैं ना, द ग्रास इज ग्रीन ऑन द अदर साइड. या राइट, इट्स लाइक दैट. Because there are certain provisions, or you can say power of the judges given in this CRPC, which can be best fitted in this system easily. We have some sections like section 156.3, 173.8, section 311, 313, and so on. In section 156.3, the judges have basically police officers को, they can ask to investigate in any particular case. They can ask them to register an FIR. And in section 173.8, the judges can even say for further investigation. And we have one more example, like we have section 319 of CRPC, which says that कि इंक्वायरी और ट्रायल के टाइम पे कोई ऐसा पर्सन जो कि एक्यूज नहीं है, एंड कोर्ट को लगता है आफ्टर सीइंग द एविडेंस और आफ्टर गोइंग थ्रू द एविडेंस कि दैट पर्सन शुड बी ट्राइड, देन द कोर्ट में प्रोसीड अगेंस्ट दैट पर्सन. इस पे काफ़ी फेमस केस लॉ भी है, दैट द नेम ऑफ द केस इज हरदीप सिंह वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ पंजाब. वी विल डील विद दैट केस लेटर ऑन, जब हम ये टॉपिक करेंगे, राइट? सो देर आर सम अदर केसेस एज वेल, which shows that judges are not only mere spectators. They are like the cases we have is DK Basu versus State of West Bengal. In this case, some guidelines were issued, and later on, those guidelines were added into the provisions of CRPC. The guidelines were like that: the police officer who went for an investigation, or you can say he's going for a search and entering into someone's house. When he was entering into the house, उसके पास एक बैच होना चाहिए जिसमें उसका नाम लिखा होगा, so that the person can be easily identified. And a person who is arrested, उसकी family members को पता होना चाहिए that the person is arrested, and the person who is arrested, he has a right to meet an advocate, and he has a right to choose a lawyer of his own choice. And these all guidelines were later on added into CRPC. Like we have few sections on that: section 41 capital A, section 41 capital B, capital C, and capital D. And we have one more case. We have Sakiri Vasu versus State of UP. It was held in this case that the magistrate has a very wide power to direct registration of an FIR and to ensure the investigation is being done or not, and even he can monitor the investigation. Even judges have power to take cognizance of a case. अब चाहे पुलिस ऑफिसर्स जो है वो बोल रहे हैं आफ्टर इन्वेस्टिगेशन कि भाई इस केस में जो है वो कुछ नहीं है, लाइक दिस केस शुड बी पर्टिकुलर, दिस केस शुड बी क्लोज डाउन, एंड but if magistrate thinks that this case is important, then he can take cognizance of that case, right? This was already done in Arushi murder case. Yeah, this was done in Arushi murder case. So judges have ample power to perform their duties in this system as well. And अब practically speaking वो कितनी power use करते हैं कितनी power use नहीं करते, we are not going into that, right? And that's not our cup of tea. So moving on the next topic. Broadly, there are two categories of offences. One is cognizable offence and non-cognizable offence. Other one is bailable or non-bailable offences. Actually there is no hard and fast rule, and there is no straight jacket formula कि कौन सा offence जो है वो cognizable है या कौन सा offence जो है वो non-cognizable है, कौन सा bailable है और non-bailable है. The first schedule clearly defines that which offence is cognizable or which offence is non-cognizable. बट देर आर फ्यू थिंग्स दैट शुड बी रिमेंबर. एक तो जो एक कॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंस है और नॉन कॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंस है, ये सिर्फ आईपीसी के ऑफेंसेस को बाइफरकेट नहीं करते, दे ऑल्सो बाइफरकेट द ऑफेंसेस ऑफ अदर लॉज एज वेल. एंड जो इनकॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंसेस है, जो पुलिस ऑफिसर है, दे कैन अरेस्ट द एक्यूज विदाउट वारंट, एंड इन नॉन कॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंसेस दे कैन नॉट अरेस्ट द एक्यूज विदाउट वारंट, राइट? नाउ द मेनली यू कैन से दैट जो कॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंस है ना वो थोड़े से सीरियस टाइप के लिए ऑफेंसेस है जिनके पनिशमेंट 3 साल से ज़्यादा की है, बट एक्सेप्शंस आर ऑलवेज देयर, एक्सेप्शंस आर देयर. सो अभी के लिए इतना ही. आई होप यू लाइक इट. नेक्स्ट टाइम वी विल डील ऑन वन मोर कैटेगरी ऑफ केसेस विच आर वारंट केस एंड समन केस, एंड what are the steps to ensure the presence of the accused at the trial through warrant and summon. Like अगर accused को court में बुलाना है तो through how we will call him into to the court, and we will, can we send warrant in summon cases or vice versa. And if suppose accused ना ही warrant case ना ही summons पे आया and ना ही warrants पे आया, suppose he get underground or you can say फरार हो गया so called, then what are the powers given under CRPC to the court, that all these things we will do next time. Thank you.